welcome to my channel once again. And if today is your first time, consider subscribing, and also don't forget to share the channel. Alright, so if you are interested in data analytics and programming, then this channel is the right channel for you. Without wasting my time, let's go straight into the classroom. Okay, so welcome to the classroom. And in today's tutorial, we're going to talk about Power BI. Okay, so Power BI is a business intelligence tool that allows you to effectively report insights through easy-to-use, customizable visualizations and dashboard. And Power BI is a Microsoft product, which is basically used for visualization. So why do we use Power BI, or why Power BI? Okay, so Power BI is easy to use and it requires no coding knowledge. It also integrates seamlessly with any other data source, and it's also fast and can handle a lot of data. Right, so when you open Power BI for the first time, I will leave a link in the video below that will let you be able to download Power BI. So this version is a desktop version, and there is also an online version where you can use online, but this one is a desktop version which I've downloaded onto my computer. So when you open Power BI for the first time, this is what you see. So in this window, you can directly get your data from here, or you can open recent sources or open other reports, but then we will not use this window, so I'll close it. Okay, so let me talk briefly about the interface of Power BI. So if you are familiar with Excel, you see that most of the tools here can also be seen in Excel. So this section of Power BI is the ribbon, which has the various tabs. We have the File tab, the Home tab, Insert tab, Modeling tab, and under each tab, there are a set of tools that can be used. Okay, and at the top here, you see a save icon, the title of your project, and you can also search for items here. Then if you are signing, you see your sign-in details here. Okay, so as I said, each tab has its own set of tools that you can use. Okay, right, then when you come to the report area of Power BI, on the left hand side you see the report view. So currently, okay, so you see a report view here. When you click on the report view, it will show a dashboard which contains the report that you are making. Then we also have the data view, which will show you your data. When you load data into Power BI, you see it at the data view. Then we also have the model view, where you can create relationships between two or more data. We'll talk about that in the course of this video. Okay, so on the right hand side too, there are three panes. We have the filters pane, where you can filter your records. Then we have the visualizations pane, where you can choose different types of visualization. Then we also have the data pane, where your data is loaded. Okay, so in Power BI, you can load data from different sources, and this is if you want to import data from Excel, you click on this Excel icon and you can load data from Excel. Then also, if you want to load data from an SQL server, you click on this icon to be able to load data from SQL server. Then you can also paste data directly by clicking on this paste data into a blank table icon. Then you can also use a sample data in Power BI. Right. So apart from these 4 ways of loading data into Power BI, you can also load data from other sources. So when you click on get data from another source, a list of all the sources that you can pull data from will be opened. Okay, so this menu or this box shows all the various sources that you can load data from. So you can load data from text or CSV file, XML file, JSON. You can load from a folder, PDF. All these are some of the areas that you can load data from. Okay, so once you click on it, you can scroll down to see the various sources that you can load data from into Power BI. So Power BI is a very powerful tool which can allow you to load data from many sources. Okay. Also, when you come to the Home tab in the ribbon section, you can either click on Get Data from here, and this will also load common data sources that you can connect data from, or you can load data from into Power BI. Okay. So this is a brief description of Power BI, and we'll talk about some of these icons as we move forward. So now let's load data into Power BI. Okay, so I'll click on import data from Excel. Now look for my data. Okay, I'll load this sales report data. You just double click on it and it will load into Power BI. Right, so when your data is loaded, it doesn't load directly into Power BI. So you will see a navigator box, and this is the data that we tried to load. So when I click on the checkbox, I will see a preview of the data here, and you see these 3 icons: load, transform data, and cancel. So as I said, when you load data from Excel, it doesn't load automatically into Power BI, but then it loads to an interface for you to make a selection. So now this load, when I click on this load, it will load the data into Power BI directly. Or if I want to transform the data or do some cleaning on the data, I will choose transform data, or I will cancel. So we are not going to load the data directly into Power BI. Let's click on transform data. And when you click on transform data, the data is loaded into PowerQuery. So PowerQuery is also a tool that you can use to transform or clean your data before finally loading it into PowerQuery for your report or analysis. And we'll do a video on PowerQuery. Okay, so now the data is loaded into PowerQuery, and PowerQuery also has a similar outlook like Excel. you can see your ribbon here, then the various tabs which has different tools under them. Okay, so now that our data is loaded here, we can manipulate it, or we can do some changes on it. So on the left side, you see the sales data loaded here. Then in the middle pane, you see the records that is in the data. And on the right hand side, there is this properties and applied steps. Right, so let me talk briefly about the applied steps. So the applied steps keeps track of all the changes that you do. So you see, when I loaded the data, PowerQuery automatically changed the data types and also promoted the headers. If I want to go back to the previous state, I'll just click on this times icon to delete it. So you see that when I click on it, it deletes and moves back to the previous state of the data before PowerQuery automatically applied certain changes to it. So you see that the title or the field names of the data has been pushed into the main fields. Yes, so now we can transform this, even though Power BI automatically did it for us, but we can also do it ourselves. So I'll select this row and come to transform, or I can come here, use first row as headers. So when I click on this, it will promote the first row as headers. So you see that it has now moved to headers. Let me delete it once again, and the apply steps kept record of the step that we did. So let me delete it once again, and now let me delete promoted headers. Now you see we have column 1, column 2, column 3 and so on as headers, but then we want to use this row as a header. So I will select it once again, then click on use first row as headers under the home tab. Okay, right, so now it has promoted it back to the headers row. So now we have region, country and so on as headers. Okay, and the next thing that we'll check is the data type. So this section contains strings or text. So you can see that the data type is ABCD. ABCD means text values. Okay, let me scroll to the right hand side. Okay, then here we have the date, which the data type is date. So when you see this calendar icon, it means the data type here is dates. Okay, then 1, 2, 3 also represents numbers. Right, so this data, we don't need to do much on this data. Okay, so I want to delete the total revenue and the total cost. Okay, I'll leave it for now. There wouldn't be much transformation or data cleaning here. Okay, let me see. This section has a mixture of different decimal places, but I want to make all of them 2. So I'll just select the column by clicking on the unit field. Then you can just right click and choose change data type, then select fixed decimal numbers. So add new step Right, so now all of them has 2 decimal places. Or you can come to transform, then data type, click on the drop down arrow, then choose. So there are several ways that you can apply the tools to your records. Either you right click on the header section, or you choose under the tabs. Okay, so now, as I said, we will not do much data cleaning here, since the next thing that I want to do is we have the order priority, and it's represented by MCH, which M means medium, C critical, L low. So I want to change it into a full name. So what I will do is I will right click on the header once again, then come to replace values. So I'll click on replace values. Then this box will open asking me the value to find. So I'll find M, then I'll replace it with medium. Okay, so you see that all M's have changed to medium. I'll right click on the header once again, then choose replace values. I'll look for C and make it critical. Right click once again, replace values, then change H to high. Right click once again, change replace values, then change L to low. Okay, so now it's readable. When you see you know that it's medium. Then the next thing I'll do is I want to check for duplicate values. So I'll select all. So I clicked on the first header, which is region. I clicked on the first header to select all. Then I held my shift key. Then I clicked on the last header, which is total cost, to select all. I'll right click on any of the headers, then choose remove duplicates. So let's see if we have, okay, so duplicate values have been removed from our data. So basically, this is just some few transformation or data cleaning that we will do. But when we talk about PowerQuery, we will do more data cleaning. So now we can load our data into Power BI by going to Home, then close and apply. So I'll just click on this icon, close and apply. Right, so now our data is successfully loaded into Power BI, and this is the build visuals with your data. So now this is where our report or dashboard will be built. And let me expand these panes. Okay, so we can still see the report view. So now we are the report view, then the data view. When I click on it, you see our data is loaded here. Then model view. So this is if we loaded more than one record into Power BI, you see that a relationship will be created here. We'll talk about relationships as we move on. So let's go back to report view. Okay, so let me quickly talk about some of these visuals or some of these visualization tools. Right, so the first one is the stack bar chart or the bar chart. We have two types of bar charts. We have the stacked bar chart, then clustered bar chart. So basically, bar charts are horizontal bars used for comparing specific values across categories. Example can be sales by region and so on and so forth. Right, then we have column charts. So we have the stacked column charts and also we have the clustered column charts. So column charts are vertical columns. So the difference between bar charts and column charts is that column charts are vertical whilst bar charts are horizontal. But they can be used for the same purpose. Then we have the line charts, which is used for looking at a numeric value over time. Then we have the area chart, which is based